Leaving work at the moment here. It is 1 o'clock on the 15th of November 2012. This is actually a 25-year anniversary for me. Rather significant, monumental milestone. I'm not completely myself today. If I'm not myself, then who am I? So assuming I'm recording, so this is an important 25-year monumental date for me, as November 15th of 1987, I made a big commitment to myself of who I am, what I'm going to be, where I'm going, and what my goals are. And I did this because I noticed that people around me, I was in a rather not awesome spot 25 years ago. I didn't have my own home. I didn't have a home, really, and was emancipated as a minor when I was 16. So, not to put my whole life story in this particular vlog, I got other vlogs for that kind of stuff, but by the time I turned 18, I was determined to become the man I wanted to be and the man I have become. And I noticed that people around me who were unsuccessful or had a spiral of negativity around them continuously fell back on this old adage of, well, that's the story of my life. And I decided, why not write my own story? And I took out a pen and paper, and I'd already been into journaling, but I wrote out a list of what I was going to accomplish and who I was going to be, and gave myself 25 years to do it. And it's cool that I accomplished these things. I accomplished my goals that I set out as a child to achieve, and got everything I wanted. Well, it may not have been what I expected. Anyway, so it's a pretty good feeling. Overall, the past week has been overwhelming. So here's what's been going on. For the past couple of months, just to rewind, blood pressure situation. June 9th, went into my doctor for the first time in years. I've not had any medical issues, as I felt some additional tension at work and want to make sure I got checked out. So doctor diagnosed me with high blood pressure, told me to come back in a month, and I did, and it was still high. And he prescribed a medication, which I was reluctant to take, as I don't like medications and fear the idea of being on perpetual pharmaceuticals. And overall, didn't have a good reaction to the medication. Went back to the doctor. Doctor gave me a different medication, and didn't really like the side effects of that either. But more importantly, I felt motivated, inspired, and just this burning need to accomplish this on my own without the need of drugs. Began working out more intensely, began getting cardio into my day every single day. I started taking coenzyme Q10, drinking soy milk, and adding in krill oil and different omegas. Overall, my supplementation, improved diet, and exercise allowed me to reduce blood pressure naturally to a greater magnitude than people would ever hope to achieve with medication. So that was pretty good. And for 2 months between, what was it, September 9th and November 8th. It's all around the 8th and 9th. What's going on with that? I was not on any type of medication. I was doing all right. I returned to work after a couple of days off on November 8th. And it wasn't just one, but several overwhelming circumstances, from my phone dropping out in the middle of calls with the boss, to showing up to a forecast call with numbers that were pre-propagated for me showing up incorrectly, to learning that a deadline of something due on the 23rd was actually moved forward to the 13th. Top it all off, my computer crashed. My work computer crashed last Thursday, and they had to overnight an image for me to rebuild my computer over the weekend. So a lot of additional anxiety and stress that wasn't expected, a lot of unusually bizarre ambiguity. One of the things that really just pushed things over the edge for me was an unexpected call that I cannot share particulars of, unfortunately. And that's something I need to learn to digest too, is holding things inside and suppressing feelings is definitely a major spiker for blood pressure crisis. So a situation that involves another at work that I'm somehow getting, I don't know, how do I describe without describing? I'm going to put it this way. I've got somebody I work with who adds complexity to my productivity, and potentially that of others. That seemed very politically correct. So that's it. I've got somebody adding complexity to productivity, and it's a very stressful situation. I reached out to manager who I look to as a mentor oftentimes about this situation, hoping that I'd have, some support. And I'm trying to be politically correct here, as the point of my vlog and sharing is about my perceptions, journey, interpretations, and growth. It's not about that of others. I don't come here to say anything about anything except about my journey. And I feel somewhat like I'm being squeezed to not. Anyway, it was further reinforced by my manager that a situation not to my productivity liking would continue. Overall, wasn't really good. I physically had a reaction to all the different bad news of the day, resulting in a hypertensive crisis. I realized that I can't put my health at risk and that it would be best to grab some preventative medicines, and went to Walgreens to fill up my pharmaceutical medication. They filled it incorrectly. I took this drug for, I shouldn't even mention Walgreens. I'm not looking to get anybody in trouble here. But some discrepancy between my doctor and Walgreens resulted in the wrong medication being prescribed. I took it for days. I got extremely sick. Overwhelming depression, shakes, hot and cold flashes, anxiety, confusion. I wasn't able to connect basic thoughts. And I've not been able to keep food down now for about a week. My sleep has been impacted incredibly, and I still don't feel 100%. I feel sharper than I have the past couple days, as I did not take the medication this morning. Anyway, turns out, reached out to the doctor, and learned that that was not the proper medication. So I've been taking the wrong pharmaceutical. It's making me sick, and I just feel completely off. I'm concerned about the environment that will be perpetuated in my professional workplace, and aware of the importance of creating a healthier, less poisonous environment for me to succeed in. I love what I do. According to my doctor, my environment at work is killing me. According to my doctor, my environment at work is killing me. Direct words, is killing. I enjoy my work. I get a great deal of satisfaction out of it. There's a small component that's been exacerbating this medical issue. It caused it initially beginning of this year. Nobody in my family has blood pressure issues. My parents in their 70s, my brother in his 40s, and my grandfather, who's 99, have never had blood pressure issues. I've never had blood pressure issues or any other health issues. And as a result of an unusually bizarre, uncomfortable circumstance that occurred in the workplace earlier this year, my blood pressure has been extremely high, to the point of putting my health at risk. So what do? I need to find ways, obviously, to interpret stress around me and not allow it to be internalized. But additionally, I want to find a way to work where I work. I don't want to leave my organization, but I'd like to be in a healthier environment. I think what really threw me, to be honest with you, is I was told that the environment was improving. There was no doubt in my mind that things were being addressed so that nobody was put in harm's way at work. Unfortunately, there was somebody who manipulated the internal systems designed to protect people to create additional perpetuated poison, putting other employees at risk. I hope I'm being vague enough here. Not doing great. I'm heading to Walgreens to fill the correct prescription, which even so I'm reluctant to take. I know I did an incredible job of reducing blood pressure without medications. The idea of popping more pills with bizarre potential side effects is not a comforting one. Can't even put my thoughts together. Well, that's it. Hey, what's going on? Darren Williger, carvlogs.com. I've not checked in for a little while now. Been kind of disconnected from the whole social sphere as I've been dealing with some stuff. What happened was November 8th, after a few days off for vacation days and everything to relax and get my game tightened for productivity enhancements, I returned to work to the most bizarre set of circumstances. I mean, technically, I had a phone that was disconnecting calls all morning, including hanging up on the boss, which really wasn't cool, and I even experienced a computer crashing at work, believe it or not. Not a hardware crash, but there was a Windows update that was pushed out that was incompatible with the drivers on my system, causing it to be inoperable. So the IT folks had sent a discount to be overnighted for me to rebuild over the weekend. Learned that a deadline for a campaign, originally being the 23rd of the month, was pulled back early to the 13th, and the forecast call I showed up for in the morning that had pre-propagated numbers of attainment was improperly created by somebody other than myself, and I had to report around that. So it was a little bit awkward. On top of that, there were some bizarre, unexpected, in no way anticipated circumstances of bizarre ambiguity that I am not sharing specifics of because, you know, it's creepy and, you know, don't want to get in trouble for sharing creepy specifics or anything. And the purpose of the vlog is about my interpretations, perspective, experience, and growth that I have and not other people's creepiness. So, being exposed to the, what is called creepiness, I was overwhelmed to learn of the outcome of said creepiness situation. So it is what it is, and I was just completely surprised that systems in place to keep water filtered allowed water to be polluted. Hey, I like my politically correct metaphors and stuff there. So anyway, I received additional discouraging news that later afternoon. I'm going to hold back on giving any more particulars because, again, I don't want to cross any type of line. I find it valuable, cathartic, and therapeutic for me to share and vlog and do all this stuff, but I also don't want to put my health at continued risk by not doing that, nor do I want to put my career at risk or expose other creepy people unintentionally. So just moving on. Again, this is about Darren, just some ramblings about his personal journey. So following that day, although I've been able to maintain my blood pressure naturally without any type of medication for a great deal of time successfully by exercising and taking supplements, I entered a hypertensive crisis Thursday evening, November 8th, 2012, and took a trip over to Walgreens to pick up a pharmaceutical prescription prescribed by my general practitioner. Anyway, the medication I picked up from Walgreens I began taking immediately and experienced severe side effects. These included dizziness, confusion, upset stomach, nausea, depression, severe, deep depression, inability to, you know what, I'm going to keep all the grosser ones out too. So bottom line is, I ended up taking this medication for a few days. I got real sick. I'm getting headaches and fevers, and I called the doctor and learned that the medication that the pharmacy, I'm even keeping the pharmacy out of it, had prescribed was not correct. And I'm experiencing the most severe of side effects that I've ever possibly imagined. And it's messing with my vision. My vision has been really bad and a lot of things. So made an appointment with the doctor, had to schedule around some work stuff, and went into the doctor. Blood pressure is at a heightened level following the situational environment news from Thursday, and he wants me to take a different medication. So, I don't know. I'm a little reluctant to take any medication, especially considering an improperly prescribed one that resulted in incredibly bad side effects, and the fact that I was successfully dealing with the blood pressure naturally without any type of medication before this. Now, to put things in perspective, a week ago, up until a week ago from today, I was getting up every morning at 5:45 and running a mile at a minimum, drinking a lot of water, getting my day started at a healthy perspective. And when I began taking these meds, it made everything really, really challenging in that department. I lost my drive to actually even go and do that exercise anymore in the morning, and it messed with my self-confidence, which is not good if you're Darren, a self-confident man. So overall, medication was bad. Doc wants me to take a different medication. I've not taken medication before. I've not had to see a doctor in the past 6 years. Last time I saw a doctor in 2006 was for some Zyban thing to stop smoking. And I don't smoke, so hey. Anyway, I'm aware that these circumstances are causing me some health issues, and I need to find a way to better manage stress. And right now it seems that to best adapt to current environmental situations, medication will be a preventative factor towards avoiding cardiac arrest or stroke. So I'm gonna go pick up these medications, and I'm gonna continue to work on lowering my blood pressure naturally. Work tightly with my doctor. Feeling kind of old having to work with a doctor. Today is November 15, 2012. It's a 25-year anniversary for me in some stretch. As November 15th of 1987, I put together a life plan, my story, so to speak, that I wanted to live. Gave myself a 25-year deadline and accomplished my goals. Feeling pretty freaking awesome about that. And nothing wrong with accomplishing one's goals. Anyway, my head is pounding. I'm feeling sick. I've not eaten in 4 or 5 days, and I've not slept well either. I'm dealing with some horrible side effects from a medication that make me wonder what the heck it is I'm even treating, and just really not feeling well. My stomach is awful. Anyway, so hopefully this all gets better soon, and I don't like feeling this way. It's pretty crummy, and I want to feel good again, like I did a week ago, and the week before that, 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 and maybe not so much the week before that, but definitely the week before that. So, hope everyone's doing well. I'm heading to a place that prescribes medications, because I'm old, and I have to take a medication. You know what my doctor said? He said my job is killing me. But I enjoy my job.